What's up, y'all? Listen, I decided that I was gonna have to make a video. I'm really just getting in the door from meeting up with some business partners and some friends, and I was having a conversation on the way home. You see, I haven't even taken off my jacket or anything on my head or nothing, but I was having a conversation with a great friend of mine, teammate as well. And I found myself having this same conversation all week with several different women. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make a video. Now, let me tell you this right now. Normally, people will tell you, you do not take advice. Okay, if you're married or in a committed relationship, you don't take advice from someone who's single. So I am single. After 25 years of being married, I am single, right? And I would normally agree with that, especially if your single friend is a person that when you tell them something about your relationship and they're like, oh, girl, if I were you, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't let him do this. Or if it's a fella and the fellas, your dudes, your friends are like, man, I wouldn't let her treat me like that because, in my house, nah, don't take that kind of advice because 9 times out of 10, that's probably why they're single, okay? But you can take advice from someone who is teaching you some lessons from some things that they learned. So these are the conversations that I've been having or the advice that I've been giving all week to several different people. And I'm targeting this specifically to women because I think we need it the most. Because we as women, we have a tendency to take on everything. We might be working a full-time job, running a business, helping the kids with their virtual schoolwork, or flat out homeschooling them. Our husbands or our significant others, we're making sure everything is set for them as they go off to work or come home from work, or if they're working from home. And in other words, we're doing everything for everyone else. Maybe you've got parents that you're still taking care of, or not taking still taking care of, but you might be responsible for some of for your elderly parents. I don't know, but we as women, we have a tendency to take on everything, right? Without asking for help. That's a big mistake. I used to do that. And I'm going to tell you, I used to do it for more of and some of it was coming from, let me just go ahead and get this done. He works, because at one point he worked like 2 jobs. He might have even worked 3 jobs, y'all. We had 5 kids. Okay. It was rough out there in them streets. And so, of course, there's circumstances like that where it's like, okay, let me let him get his sleep. Let me do this, do this, do this. And then sometimes there were plenty of times when he was just like, not doing that. Let me just say that. And I wanted to do everything because I felt like I could get it done better. Okay. I know I'm not the only woman that feels that way. Whether it was keeping the house clean or helping the kids with their schoolwork or, taking the kids here and there to their different activities, softball practice, baseball practice, this and the other thing, and running a business and working full time. Yes, there was a time when I did all of that. And it's one thing to do all of those things and you're coming from a place of like, like, yeah, I got it, my man, he works, da, 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 I got it. And you're not holding any resentment. The problem is most of the time resentment will build up. But even if there isn't any resentment, I feel like it's great to ask for help. First of all, if you can get outside help, get outside help. Get you a housekeeper, get somebody to cut the lawn, get somebody to come and wash and detail your car, get someone to do these things around the house, these tasks around the house, pay somebody to do it. You don't want to spend dollar time on penny tasks, right? And if you can't afford that right now, then get your money up so you can. But in the meantime, while you're doing that, ask for help. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, if you're in a great relationship, that man or that person that you're in a significant relationship with, they want to help you. They may not know how to help you. They might even think you love doing the laundry and cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids with the schoolwork and whatnot and ripping, running, taking care of their activities and their science fair projects and all this stuff and working full time and running a business. They might think that you love that, okay? Or they might feel that if they were to try to step in and do it, they wouldn't know where to help and they wouldn't do it as good as you. And they may feel like if they even tried or attempted to do anything to lighten your load, that you might criticize it because you want things done a certain way. Okay. So here's where you got to be proactive. And here's where you got to really, have those real conversations with them because you do need help, ladies. You're in a relationship. It's a two-way thing. you're there as one another's protector. You're literally like garments to each other. He's like your garment for your covering and your protection. You're his garment for his covering and his protection. So you should be able to lean on each other, but you got to have real conversations with them. And ladies, let him know what you need help in. Let him know that, you know what, I could use some extra help around here. Maybe on Mondays and Wednesdays, you could, just get the dishwasher going and get the kids' dinner going, and then take Junior to softball practice. Be specific, because they're very specific oriented. You need to let them know exactly what you need help in. You can't say, hey, I want you to keep the house clean. And in their mind, keeping the house clean might be just making sure the floors are swept and whatnot. Maybe for you, keeping the house clean means maybe throwing a load of laundry in there. Maybe it means making sure the dishwasher is loaded and unloaded. It's going to mean specific things. It's going to mean different things. And if you're not specific with them with kindness, there's an Arabic word, it's hikmah. Do it with kindness, ladies. Not pointing the finger, not, being pissed off if when you ask for help and they don't do it quite the same way that you want them to do it. It's okay if the whites get mixed up with the colored clothes. It's okay. It's only bleach, but don't criticize what you're asking for help for, because a lot of times that's why men won't step up and step in, because they don't want to be criticized, because they're trying to help you out, because like I said earlier, they would love to help. They would love to lighten your load because they love you. So they want to lighten your load, Get your kids involved. Get your kids to step up. I think these days, a lot of times we're too soft on these kids, right? But most importantly, ladies, for the sake and the sanity of your relationship going forward, please ask your man for help, okay? And be specific, do it with kindness, and be grateful. And thank them for the help. So what if it's not exactly the way that you want? Listen, I'm going to tell you that stuff. If you don't start asking for help, that resentment will build up. I remember a time when I came home and I was working all day, and I was working in the design field because I'm an interior designer. And, I'm around pretty things all the time and setting things up to look a certain way and, doing photo shoots for it and whatnot. I was surrounded and drenched in it. So this was in my psyche. And because I wasn't asking for help, okay, and I was exhausted, and I came home this particular time, and the pillows on my sofa I know they weren't the way that I had them. They weren't fluffed, with that nice karate chop in the middle. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I think half of them were on the floor and they were just all over the place. Listen, baby, you would have thought that was some Bitcoin or something thrown all over the room. Like I lost it. I flipped my lid. I was so upset. But here's the thing. I was not upset about the pillows, but that's what came out of my mouth. What I was really upset about was because I felt like I wasn't getting any help in any area, but I also wasn't asking either. But because I hadn't said anything, that resentment just built up over time. So when I opened the door and I saw them pillows all over the place, everything that I was upset about came out, but I never said those things. Well, I probably did. I probably let it all come out at that time. And you never do this, and you never do this, and you da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's looking at me like a deer in headlights, like, where the hell did this come from? All of this about some pillows? No, that wasn't a good look, right? But I've learned some things, right? And so, it takes two to have a great relationship, and it takes two to have a messed up relationship. And so, I believe that, when we go through things, as long as we go through these lessons and we learn from our lessons, they're so that we can teach someone else. So there are times when you can learn some things from someone who is single. So ladies, I hope that has helped you out. Again, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help and being grateful for the help that you give, or for the help that you get, and don't criticize. Don't be so critical. Let your man help you, because he loves you. He wants to help you. So that's all I got for you tonight.